You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
Feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Hi, welcome back.
That's what you decided on. I was literally watching you, waiting for you to see what you were going to do. There was such a pause before we started. I was
I
like,
saw your eyes
what he's
working.
debating between right now.
At the beginning of every episode, folks, I try to think of something fun and creative, and sometimes the pressure
That
just gets
happens.
to you, and you just got to say hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
Hi.
Kyle the Coach Duggan.
Oh!
All right, gang. Well, hey, we had our freaking preseason game. We got stuff to talk about, man.
Hallelujah.
Oh,
it's just
goodness.
It's just like, why do we do this in the off season is what it feels like right now.
We're
It's
actually,
like,
Well,
There's
the
things
fa-
to actually talk about right now.
The fans want it. The fans love us so
I
much. They're
suppose.
like, I don't care what you talk about. Just talk about
I
something.
need it. I
Yeah.
personally need it because now I
It's-
feel ready. I'm warmed up. I'm warmed
Yes.
up for this shit now.
Yes,
So
it's going to
roll.
explode. So we've got tons to talk about here, folks.
Lots.
We got to look at the preseason game. We've got some quotes to look at, articles to talk about, players to talk about. We've got a Bolt Inside, a Fan Focus, and as always, an Ask Boltfam. But first and foremost, as Kevin teased, we're going to start this off right away,
Big.
folks. This is big news.
Breaking news. Pew, 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 pew.
We have never done this at Charger Chat. This is a first. Are you listening? Do I have your
Yeah.
attention?
I'm
Okay.
I think in the Charger podcasting world first. This is
It
groundbreaking.
might be. I don't want to say 100%, but this feels
I'll just say-
pretty epic.
I was shocked when I started reaching out to some of my friends. I was shocked at the reply. Not only how
There's
fast the
excitement.
reply was,
Yeah.
but how down like a clown everyone was. Charlie
Yes.
Brand.
This is huge, folks. So a lot of you folks have been asking for it. Fantasy football. We will be hosting a fantasy football league, and it's not just us here at the Charger Chat. As Kevin said, we reached out to some other people, both in the podcasting world and other Charger groups. And this is, if you play fantasy football, you pay attention, because here are the teams. All right. So far, it's us. You've got the Charger Chat
Us
podcast.
three knuckleheads.
Yes. You've got the Die Hard Bolt Club. They have their own team. Bolt Beat has their own team. Los Reyos has their own team. Rivers Lake Yacht Club has their own team. Coach Senior, Papa Duggan,
Papa Doug's coming in hot.
coming in with his own team. We've got the Bolt Bros podcast. We have Charger to the Game, a.k.a. Craig. You know him, you love him.
Oh, yeah.
Locked on Chargers, Chargers Unleashed, Guilty as Charged, and last but not least, the director, folks, is part of this fantasy football team. And I can hear you saying right now, how do I want to play?
It's not fair.
There's a lot of teams there, folks, but we have two slots open for this year's team. If you want to get in and compete with all of us here, here's what you got to do, okay? Get a pen and pencil. There's a few steps here, all right? There's a few steps. First of all, team up with somebody, okay? We're looking for co-managers. We don't just want you coming in by yourself.
Right.
Have a partner, because this is obviously
This podcast's about coming together, man.
Come together.
as a fantasy team.
Right
Us-
now.
My favorite part about this fantasy league is
For a
that
team.
us three are co-managing.
This
a
is going to
team.
be some wild arguments and decision
Yeah.
making each
It's
week.
gonna be good.
We will absolutely be checking in every week. So first of all, team up with somebody on this episode's post, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram or Reddit, maybe even YouTube. Will we include YouTube in that?
Yeah,
All right.
fuck it, do it. YouTube.
Give us what your team name would be and why you want to join. Okay, we want to know a little bit about who we're inviting into this obviously prestigious fantasy football league.
And team name. I want to reiterate.
They better
important.
be
Quality team names.
We're looking for quality team names, quality reasons for why you want to join. And if you're following and subscribing, it obviously would go a long way. This isn't a money league. All right. So those of you that are like, I don't know if I have enough money. It's all right. It's not a money league. This is basically bragging
We don't
rights.
have enough either.
No, yeah, trust me, we don't have enough either. Bragging rights, prestige only, and we will have a pretty sweet trophy at the end of this to give to the winner. So it could be you. If you are the strategist that you might be for fantasy football, this could be your opportunity to basically rub it in every Chargers podcast.
Every Chargers podcast, like, you guys don't know nothing.
You don't
about
know
football.
what you're talking about.
Nope.
And then we will announce the two teams on next Tuesday's episode. So you've got a week, basically, to a little bit less than a week to basically get your partner, come up with a team name, tell us why you want to join, put it on there.
Yeah.
And we will pick two people. We will announce two teams.
Make sure that you are prepared for crap talk, because that's why you play fantasy football.
Absolutely.
So, like, on the episode, if we're playing you that week, there will be crap talk about your roster.
100%.
And so
God help you if you have a Raider on your team.
Don't
I
you
swear to
I
God.
may just lock out all Raiders. Like, you can't draft
Can
them.
you
You
do
can't
that?
pick them up. Yeah, I absolutely can.
That might
Being
be
the commissioner
kinda
of this
cool.
league, I can absolutely do that.
I mean, do we
Okay.
want to lock out all
No,
AFC
I'm not
West
going to.
opponents?
I'm not going to do that. No. But
Oh,
just know
and-
if you draft a Raider,
This is a pretty big league. We need all the
we need
options
you need
we
all the
can
help you can get.
I think it would be pretty fun, but we'll see what happens. But prepare to have your nuts rubbed in it if you have a player on your team that is of the AFC West opponent variety.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is going to be really exciting, folks. I can't wait to see what kind of pitches we have for people that want to join this fantasy football league. But now let's go back to the preseason game. Let's talk about it, because I didn't get to go, Kevin didn't get to go, but our very own Kyle the Coach Duggan was in attendance at the very first preseason game of the year. How did it go?
So it went great. It was really
Good.
fun. I took my two boys, Paxton and Franklin, my 5-year-old, 2-year-old, and then my brother-in-law was in town from Florida. So we went. Here's the only thing. I will never figure out how early I have to leave to get to the game. I can't figure it out. Every time I leave, no matter what time I leave, the traffic will get, if I leave earlier, the traffic's worse. If I leave later, the traffic's better. And so I always get there at kickoff, no matter what.
That's all that matters, right?
For the Raiders game, we're just going to go up and stay the night before, and then I don't have to worry about that.
We'll get
There you
there
go.
real early.
Yeah, we will be there quite early.
Yeah.
The unknown factor that contributed to me being late this time, you'll never believe it.
I don't.
Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee was
Daddy
having
Yankee.
his concert. There was a Daddy Yankee concert at the Forum the same night as the Chargers playing the Rams. So
Does Daddy Yankee draw a big crowd? I've never heard of this.
in LA, the Latin crowd will show up for Daddy Yankee.
Okay.
Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their whole parking lot was completely full.
Okay.
SoFi's parking lot was full. I was driving through streets of Inglewood I had no idea existed because my maps was trying to get me to the
Just
kickoff.
trying to help you out.
It was not favorable. So I got to the game a little bit late. I will say that. That was kind of a bummer. Didn't get to go do the tailgate and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm saving that for the real first experience of week one with the
That'll be the
Raiders.
big
I'll
one, yeah.
do it with you boys.
And we're staying
but-
close enough to we can walk to this. There's no traffic, no Daddy Yankee concert that's going to keep us from getting
Should
there
be
early.
no excuse.
No, none.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. It was a preseason game. It wasn't sold out. It wasn't completely full.
Mm-hmm.
It was in LA, so there was a lot of Rams fans. But just being back in the stadium, being in our seats, it's crazy being a season ticket holder and like you just know your seats and that
It's the
view, you have the view and that's the view for the season. And I sat in my seats and I got like thrown back into the Steelers Sunday night game and like revisited the Raiders game where we just beat the dog crap out of them. And so it is weird being a season ticket holder and having the same seats. It has this weird way of being reminiscent and throwing you back nostalgic to these old games. So that was really cool. I spent like $200 in the pro shop on my kids, which was really fun.
Has to happen.
Wife didn't love that, but you gotta create fans.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sometimes you have to buy them, and right now I'm buying them.
Yeah.
And it's working. My two boys, they haven't taken off any. Paxton got that big like chain with a bolt on it.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so they haven't taken that stuff off since the game. So great success. But yeah, the game was awesome, and it was so cool. The cannons were going.
Good.
What else? I ran into a listener, and he saw me and he said, "What's up, coach?" And he definitely said his name, and I completely forgot. I'm really sorry. But it was awesome seeing you. Toss yourself down in the comments somewhere, and we'll shout you out on the next episode, because he was really, really kind. He was asking me about the patches on my jersey, where I got them. I was like, I don't know, man. My brother bought them for me. I have no clue. I'm sorry. He's like, wait, are you coach?
I just woke up and they were there.
Wait, are you coach? Like you don't sound like coach right now.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome to be back at SoFi. Again, though, my only complaint about SoFi Stadium is their food sucks.
Still?
Really?
Like what is going on? Like how do they not have vendors in the stadium? You know, when you go to Petco, at Petco Park, not the store, but the Padres Stadium, they have like, you go in and they have like Phil's Barbecue, and they have Kodak's, and they have like Taco Shop, and like they have all these vendors that they bring in.
Right.
SoFi Stadium is just like hot dogs and pizza, and it's not any good.
Really? I saw some pictures of the pizza. The pizza looked at least better than it did last year, but
we didn't look out with good pizza.
Well, damn it.
I don't go there for the food, so it's okay.
Dude, it's preseason. They're getting ready for the season. We're getting ready for the season.
They've got their rookies out there too. They're trying to find their groove.
It's hard to get employees right now, so
it doesn't matter. They don't need to feed me. I'm gonna go eat at the tailgate with
that's right. Yeah,
Senora
we're gonna
Snappy and her nachos and barbacoa, and
that's right.
I don't need any food in there.
No.
How were the people around you? Were you surrounded by Charger fans or Rams fans?
A little bit of both. Yeah, I had some really obnoxious Ram fans in front of me that anytime like a 5-yard run happened, he was standing up like this, and so that was cool. I could just laugh.
I'm getting fired up. Like this week one's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be a real problem.
I just got like angry for you right there.
I know you did. Yeah,
it's going to be a problem for all of us.
Yeah, there was some Charger fans behind us though that were really cool, and we got excited and had fun, and yeah, it was good. It was a good warm up for the regular season as a fan. Like getting yourself back used to being around the opposing team fans and like having to put up with their crap. Kevin, you need to attend a preseason game. You need a warm up. Just go hang out at a Chiefs bar at one of their preseason games and just like let yourself sit in it a little bit.
All right, I'll figure something out.
Awesome. All right. Well, any other big things or any other memorable moments?
No, nothing else. Specifically jumping out at me. It was fun. It was a good little preseason game.
Good. All right. Well, let's take a look over at the stats of the game, looking at some of the different positions, how they performed, what they did. Starting with the quarterbacks, Easton Stick, Chase Daniel. I think in previous seasons, we would have said this is Chase Daniel. He's the QB2. But after that preseason game, Easton Stick kind of came to play, played a lot better than we've seen in the past.
He looked pretty good, man. I guess Coach was on something to him improving because he was throwing a lot better. Chase Daniel was rushing stuff in the beginning, was missing really easy throws, especially
the throws to Palmer. Yeah, that was
Palmer.
Palmer
catches everything. Like how off is your throw if Palmer can't get it? So
right.
Maybe that was just jitters. And there was a cool video. I don't know if you saw it of Chase Daniel's son watching him run on the field and flying and how proud of him he was. Which is awesome. So I'm not going to rag on him too hard, but Easton Stick, in my opinion, looked like QB2.
Looked a little bit better, yeah.
Maybe premature, but he looked. I feel a little more confident. That was wood, by the way.
Yeah, I mean they were pretty comparable as far as yards and touchdowns, really. But it just seemed like I don't know. Easton Stick was 16 for 23, Chase Daniel 11 for 7. So really pretty close comparatively. I think just in the past, we're used to seeing Easton Stick struggle a little bit more, especially going in the second half. I mean, you're not playing with the first half guys, you're playing with the second half guys. And it seemed to do pretty good.
coach said that's flipping next week, so we'll see.
I anticipated it being that. Yeah,
some different guys, so we'll see.
Looking over at the rushing side, as you know, we saw Isaiah Spiller, we saw Joshua Kelly, Larry Roundtree, Xander Horvath, even, and
first down.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, that fullback. That's all you got to do is get that first down on 4th
Get that first down,
that's
baby.
What you're built for.
He was flying through that hole for that first down. There was no stopping
excited.
that man. He was going to take a few people out with him.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they were praising him for, his athletic ability and just his build and everything like that.
And catching, he's a unique fullback. He really is.
So the first reps were going to Joshua Kelly, which I think kind of surprised all of us. We weren't expecting Joshua Kelly to get in there. And then we weren't necessarily expecting the performance that we saw from Joshua Kelly. Again, another instance of like, we're not used to seeing this from Kelly. We're used to seeing struggles out there.
It just goes to show you the whole offseason, we're like really just, holding on to what happened last year, because that's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
We finally have something to look at. And what I'm seeing is RB3, RB2, not the on the outside looking in, the way we had him, going into this game. So he ran decisively. He had burst. He just looked different. I don't know what it was or what's going on, but he looked different.
Yeah. Yeah. Kelly had 3 carries for 16 yards. His longest being 6. And then we saw Isaiah Spiller come out, and he had 10 carries for 34 yards, with his longest being 6 as well. So, I mean, that was just on the rushing side. On the receiving side, they also played a part in that as well. Joshua Kelly had 3 receptions for 28 yards, which was pretty impressive, I think, comparatively. And Isaiah Spiller had 1 reception for 10 yards. So great to have Austin Eckler, Isaiah Spiller, and Joshua Kelly both proving themselves to be receiving running backs. And I think it just talks to what you've mentioned before, Kyle, about having guys that can do both. It's not so much like, oh, they're going to do this. Either one of these guys now can go out there on the field, and it's like, are they going to run it? Are they going to pass it? No idea.
What are you doing that down? Yeah.
Right.
They're camouflage. You don't know what's going to happen.
It's clear just based on the numbers, like looking at the carries, what they wanted to get out of Isaiah Spiller, like what the coaches wanted to see when he went in the game. He carried the ball 10 times. Like that's half of the team's total carries.
Yeah.
So they wanted to feed him the rock, and it was successive. Like it was one right after another after another. It wasn't like he ran the ball once and then 5 plays later he went off and came back on. Like he was just on the field, and they were just feeding him, and they were just pounding the rock on the Rams when Isaiah Spiller was on the field. So you kind of start to get the idea of what they're trying to see out of these guys, because Kelly only got 3 carries, and he averaged over 5 yards a carry, which is huge. But they gave the ball to Isaiah 10 times when he was on the field. So they're gonna find out.
Imagine what these guys are gonna do behind the starters, behind Filer,
absolutely,
behind Rashawn Slater, behind these other guys that are
Corey
what
Linsley.
they are the best at. So, them able to do this kind of thing, it shows a little bit maybe with our depth at offensive line, how we may have improved, that they can still, get those hard-earned yards. And, like, I love the patience with Spiller. It was like, it felt different than, like, the Jackson.
It's not a Jackson. Yeah, it's not a Justin Jackson.
Jittery, like where the f*** am I gonna go? He's very smooth and calm. You know what I mean?
Oh, where am I gonna go? Isaiah Spiller's like,
yeah.
Isaiah Spiller's like, oh, it'll open up. I'm going somewhere.
I'm
going. Justin Jackson's like, oh, where am I going?
That hole, holes.
Holes.
But the thing that kind of stood out as far as the rushing goes is the guy who ended up taking the last third of the game, which was Larry Roundtree. Only 3 carries for 8 yards. Did not really have much of a showing that game.
Yeah.
One who we probably anticipated being this, the RB2 or, comparatively with Spiller, but didn't really see a whole lot from him.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. Like he just had a very normal, like what we saw last year.
Yeah.
It felt like what we saw out of our running back 2s last year. There was just nothing to write home about. It was just a guy out there carrying a football.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they do the same thing like you were talking about, Kev, as far as like switching Easton Stick and Chase Daniel, if they'll let Roundtree take the first third of it and see what he does with that.
We'll see, because those other two guys look camouflagey, or they can catch. They can do some stuff out of the backfield. Roundtree looked very one note, at least in that game. Didn't get a lot of opportunities. Camouflagey.
I like that.
He didn't get he didn't get a lot of opportunities, so we're gonna have to put a pin on this and wait for a couple more games. But
hey, the one thing our running backs did do, they held on to the football.
Absolutely, they did.
No drops, no fumble rooskies or anything like that. Nothing concerning, really. Like there was just productive running of the
Larry
football.
Roundtree had that one drop at the end of the game, the 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
Kind of a bummer, hit him right in the chest.
Yeah.
It's not camouflagey.
Not camouflagey. Very sticky outy.
Yeah. Sticky
Very
outy.
visible.
Yeah.
Very sore thumb.
He's wearing those reflectors while riding a bike at night. We can see it.
We got it. I get it.
Yeah.
Got it.
You want another analogy? I can pick something out of
No,
it.
let's talk about talk about the receivers, shall we?
Michael Bandy, huh?
Michael Bandy is
what do you
the
do
man
with him?
What happened? It's that both, and let's give it also to Joe Reed as well.
Yeah.
Joe Reed, a guy who I'm not going to say that we forgot about, but has certainly been somebody far on the back burner.
I know Jason Reed's excited about this.
Yeah.
He's Jason Reed from our new segment, The Bolt.
And Craig has been pounding the drum for Joe Reed as well.
Yep.
So, Joe Reed was in the first half with Chase Daniel, had 4 receptions, 61 yards, and a touchdown. His longest was 41 yards. That 41-yard bomb was so freaking sweet from Chase Daniel. And then Michael Bandy, 7 receptions, 73 yards, touchdown. His longest, 19 yards. Michael
Just
Bandy,
consistent.
man. I had no idea how tiny that guy was. He looks so small comparatively to the other guys. Yeah. I had no idea. When I first saw him, I was like, wow, he looks big. And then I saw him with the other guys. I was like, nope, he ain't big. Sorry, my bad.
No, he's not. He's a USD Torero as well.
Really?
Yeah, he went to Servite High School up in LA County, and then he went to USD. So he's a Torero.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just, he just is quick. He's got that little quick twitchy underneath stuff.
He did. Yeah.
That is, it's, I don't know. It's like a mix between a running back wide receiver look when he's out there running routes. Cause it's quick in and out, get the ball, get upfield type of stuff. Nothing super flashy, or he's definitely not going to go up and get any eyeballs.
No.
But that good little option when it's a short yardage situation, it's in the red zone. You don't need guys that are just burn up field. In that short little quick areas, you just need to be able to get in and get out faster than somebody. Could be a good little option in those situations.
Absolutely. Yeah. Joe Reed seemed to be the favorite for Chase Daniel, and Michael Bandy seemed to be the favorite for Easton Stick. So again, when we see them mix it up, we'll see if we get the same kind of production out of these guys when they have different quarterbacks chucking the ball. And then looking on the defensive side, just to see some of these guys, Troy Reeder had 8 total tackles, 3 solos.
He was all over the field. He was in the mix all day.
Yeah, he was calling the huddle. He was calling all the plays.
Yeah.
He was very involved right away.
Yeah. And against his previous team, which was, I'm sure, pretty fun. And then you had Damon Lloyd, who had 6 tackles, 5 solo. Those guys were standing out, as did Cole Christensen, 6 tackles, 4 of those solo. And then Chris Rumpf, a guy that we've been pretty excited for, had himself 4 tackles, 4 solo tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Give me that all day long. That was looking really good.
Not a bad number 3 edge rusher for us,
Not at all. I mean,
he's evolved too. You can see strength that he did not have last year.
Big time.
Just bull rush. He's just taking guys with those long arms and pushing them backwards. And that's an evolution for his game. Because with his motor, he is nonstop. He is just running full speed from whistle to whistle. He's never going to slow down. So you put some strength on him, he could definitely be a good change of pace, dynamic pass rusher. Because you get Joey or Khalil, they get tired. You throw that guy in that just never stops moving. Imagine being a tackle that has to deal with Khalil Mack the whole game, and then this guy comes in and just won't stop. He's just like that little
it's like a
cocker spaniel that won't go away. Just the whole time.
Well, and the one guy with the Chris's sack, Morgan Fox. Wow,
he got mad push up the middle.
Strong, dude. I am excited for him. Like getting a pressure from a player. We haven't seen that in a while. Like that's what Hillary's supposed to be doing. And maybe we'll talk about that later. Maybe we won't. But
yeah,
it was exciting. Like that was somebody that stood out to me for sure. That was like, okay, wow, we kind of picked him up off of the Panthers. Just they paid him a contract and then they kind of just didn't know what to do with him, and now he's here and looks, hopefully, we got a plan for what to do with him, because I was excited by him for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lots to be excited about on both sides of the ball. Obviously didn't come out with the win, but I mean, it's a preseason game.
Wins don't mean shit right now.
Yeah. The wins really don't mean anything. You just want to see stuff like this. You want to see who's standing out, who is making their presence known. And there were quite a few guys that were definitely doing that against the Rams. So we'll see if that continues on the next preseason game. But looking over at Twitter, this comes out from our partners over at the Guilty as Charged podcast. They tweeted out, J.K. Scott's average hang time last night was 4.87. The league leader in 2021 was Joseph Carlton at 4.54 with minimum 20% of attempts. So
now we know why they brought him in.
Yeah, that was noticeable.
At the game, you could just see the coverage getting down there faster than they thought they would. For instance, on the first punt that I saw, that's when we had that kicker catch interference.
Yeah, he tackled
him. Was it Jasir Taylor? Was that who it was?
I thought it was
one of those young rookies that we just.
I thought it was
drafted.
Deion Leonard that might have done that. It was whoever. It was number 33, which I think is Deion now. I think Deion has.
That's so confusing still for me. I see that and I
know it does kind of throw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. 33 is Deion Leonard. Yeah. It was like he's like, well, how is the ball not here? I guess I'm just gonna hit the guy because he was just standing there waiting, so he just hit him that's the outcome of an outrageously long hang time. He's
right, because the guy didn't call for a fair catch. He was just sitting there waiting for the ball, so he was like, well, he didn't call it. Here I come.
Yes.
So, yeah, obviously, J.K. Scott's hang time, that was clearly noticeable comparatively to Ty Long. Love Ty Long, and for how long he was around for the team. The guy was a team captain, for Pete's sakes. How often does a punter end up being one of the team captains? And J.K. Scott having that kind of a hang time was beautiful. And
it's going to solve a considerable amount of problems that we used to have.
Yeah, just giving the players enough time to get down and actually do something with the guy instead of like, oh, he's got the ball and he's already run 5 or 10 yards before we can even catch up with him.
He's got a full head of steam before anyone's even breathed on him.
Exactly. So great to see that. And then some of the post-game quotes, starting off with head coach Brandon Staley on how the running backs performed. He said, I thought that they all got some good work. I felt like they caught the ball well. I felt like they were a factor in the passing game. I thought that Isaiah Spiller had a couple of good runs in traffic where it was crowded. He moved the pile. It was good to play all of them, and it was good to play all of them on special teams.
Yeah,
I agree, Coach. It felt like a good overall performance out of the running back group. Nothing special. There was no Austin Eckler out there, but it definitely could feel the competition.
Yeah. And yeah, you got to actually see some performance. They're going up against other rookies and second stringers, but I mean, these are also guys that are competing for spots, and they're going to be just as aggressive right back at you. And then Staley talked about on how Trey Pipkins and Storm Norton performed at right tackle. He said they both played. That thing is.
They both played.
I could say
they're both out there.
They both played.
Yeah.
That thing is still in motion, but I thought that both guys competed. I felt like we moved the ball with both quarterbacks. I thought that both guys did a nice job tonight.
That's no one really, in my opinion, watching that game, neither one of them stood out really.
No, I mean,
no one took a step forward in front of anyone. So
no, I think I forgive me because I can't remember the guy, but there was a guy that was posting, all of Pipkins' snaps and what he was seeing. I don't know him from Adam, but was at least pointing out some of the I know, right? But was at least pointing out some of the differences between Pipkins of previous years and what we saw in that preseason game. Obviously, it's got to equate to a real game. We need to see real, competition between him and
rushers. Yeah,
exactly.
We need to see that.
But moving in the right direction at the very least. Obviously, it's still a competition in Staley's eyes. There's nobody that's standing out for him yet. And we'll see if that continues.
That's going down to the wire. That's going down to
for sure.
Raiders right before that game starts. They'll pick
flip a coin.
Who's going to be playing right tackle. I don't think anybody's going to set themselves out that much apart between the two after what we saw between now and the game one.
I guess it just depends on what they see, right? And what kind of pass rushers they get to go against these next 2 weeks. And I think a big thing will be in practice this week. We have the joint practice with the Cowboys.
Huge.
You go against their ones. Yeah. We're going to see Micah Parsons out there against Storm and against Trey. So you'll start to continue to get more of that. We as fans won't be able to see all of that, but I think this week in these joint practices will go a long way to determine who's the right tackle one.
Big time. And then they talked to Joe Reed, wide receiver Joe Reed, on how it felt to get the touchdown given his injury last year. He said that's part of the journey. This is a hard business, a hard league, and every day you have to show up and work. So going from a coaching change my rookie year to being on practice squad IR, just having the opportunity to go out there and compete and to play anytime I'm between those lines, I can't take it for granted. Having that moment and having a full game today meant a lot to me.
Yeah, there was, high hopes. A lot of people we know that were pretty close to have still had high hopes for him going into the season. So, we don't know the full level of health these players have and what nagging injuries they're dealing with and that stuff. So that Joe Reed sounds like from the beginning when he got there, he just couldn't get out of that injury stuff. So if he's feeling good, feeling healthy, look what he was able to do, game one.
This wide receiver room is getting
What are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Crowded,
right?
Because Josh Palmer, we didn't even really get to see because Chase Daniel couldn't get him the ball in this first game,
right?
But Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, Jalen Guyton, now Joe Reed, Michael Bandy,
DeAndre Carter.
DeAndre
Carter has to be on the team because he's our return guy.
So what are you going to do? None of these guys aren't going to make it to the practice squad. At least some of them won't.
I think Bandy would make it to the practice squad. One preseason game's not going to get you scooped up.
What about 2?
But
we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out.
Let's not forget 3.
Maybe 3.
Let's not forget.
Don't leave that one out.
Yeah, don't leave that one dangling out there.
As if it's a surprise.
But no, you're 100% right. This wide receiver room is borderline an embarrassment of riches as far as the production that we've seen so far. Granted, this is just one preseason game. Let's not let's not pop the champagne just yet. But so far, looking very promising. And then let's look over at Daniel Popper, who wrote an article over at The Athletic. If you guys aren't subscribed to The Athletic, you absolutely should. Again,
now's the time.
Now is the time because Popper's going to be given now. The time is now. The place is here. Popper's going to be writing a lot of great stuff, and it's really not that expensive. It's like $1 a month or something crazy like that.
Absolutely worth it.
Yeah. But he talked to Chargers Brandon Staley regarding the math, the mindset behind NFL's most aggressive coach. Here's some of the highlights. On Chargering It, this was Brandon Staley's response. He says, there has to be a fearlessness to play in this game, and what I wanted to establish was that. The history of this team, when I got here, it was like someone's going to get hurt. They're going to blow a lead. Something catastrophic is going to happen. There's this quote unquote charging it thing. There's all these external factors that I know in my life, they're just all excuses. And so how do you change that? Well, you have to do things different. You have to have a different approach. Our mindset's going to be on us. It's not going to be on the opponent. It's going to be on us. So creating that fearless mindset of we are going to be aggressive. We are going to put the ball in our hands. We're going to trust our guys to make plays. If we lose, we're going to do it on our terms, not someone else's terms.
And that's why he's going for it on 4th down. That's why he was doing that. He knew what charging it was. We watched it for decades of it. Yeah, exactly. So he targeted it and he attacked it. So people maybe be getting a little pissed off last season for 4th down calls. This is a marathon. This isn't a sprint. He was intentional. He's doing something with this.
Yeah, he's trying to rewrite the history of what we are, right? And that takes a
specifically the negative history.
It takes a big bang. Like it takes something to create that new change and rewrite the definition of what charging is. If you just say, oh, well, maybe we'll go out there and win some of those and that'll change the definition. He took a very proactive approach, and no, it has to change by us losing because we lost, not because we got conservative and they caught up.
Right. Yeah, it is a breath of fresh air to see from Staley. And then later on in the article talked about his aggressive style and how that pairs with Justin. He said the first person that I was thinking about was Justin. I wasn't thinking about anything or anybody else. For me, I came into this and I said, I know I have a special quarterback. I also know part of my responsibility is to train him. Part of my responsibility is to get him ready. And I also know that if I take the ball out of his hands, I know what that's going to do too. For him to grow and be as good as he's going to be, he needs to be in these pressure-packed moments. Whether he throws it or not, it's not the point. It's that the ball is in his hands. It's in our hands as a team. And that is where it all started for me.
He's a life coach. He can get paid
He's
to like
100% a life coach.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's not just about that. It's about the bigger picture. And he could, I don't know what his rate would be, but I'd love for him to kind of coach me through and making me a better
his rate,
whatever. I don't know what his
Check
rate
his
is.
salary, divide it daily. It's probably way too much money.
I'm about to start a GoFundMe for that, but I'd love a day of him setting a goal for me, and I'm the only one on his mind, the only thing he's thinking about, how he's going to make me better.
So you want to be Justin Herbert?
Yeah, pretty much.
I absolutely see Staley having a career after football, if that's even a thing for him. You know, doing public talks, or graduation ceremonies and stuff like that. Like he's going to get everybody pumped up. He's going to get everybody running through walls. But again, a great article from Dan Popper over at The Athletic. Definitely go check it out.
Yeah.
And then this came out today. Chargers have already cut down to 85 guys. They waived, I should say, Maurice French, Brandon Peters, and Skylar Thomas, wide receiver, quarterback, and safety, respectively. And then waived / injured Forrest Merrill, defensive lineman, and Isaac Weaver. Yeah, fan favorite Forrest Merrill. It's a bummer to see.
It's a bummer.
I don't know what the injury was. They didn't really come out and say something about it yet, so I don't know when he got hurt, if it was before the game, if it was during preseason game, what ended up happening. But he's been waived, unfortunately. Skylar Thomas, the safety that we waived as an undrafted rookie out of Liberty, played 4 defensive snaps in Saturday's preseason game. French played 32 snaps Saturday and did not have a catch on 1 target. He appeared in 3 games for the Chargers in 2021, recording 1 rush for 3 yards. Peters was added as an undrafted free agent this spring after a college career that saw him play at Michigan and Indiana. He did not play Saturday and had not participated in team drills at training camp. Merrill and Weaver also did not play Saturday against the Rams. Merrill spent most of the 2021 season on the Chargers practice squad, but played in 4 games. Weaver was undrafted free agent from Old Dominion. So the next roster cut down deadline is going to be August 23rd, when all teams need to be down to 80 players. So August 23rd, if I do the math right, we'll see it by about
carry the 2
about next week.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday. So
1 week.
So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. It'll be something that'll happen after the next preseason game.
Yep. And hey, so long to those guys that were waived and cut.
Absolutely. Yeah. We know that
Thanks for giving your effort and getting out there, and hope you land somewhere on your feet.
Absolutely. This is a cutthroat league. We love everybody that comes in and plays for the Charger, puts the bolt on. And obviously we can't keep 90 guys going into the season. We would if we could, but that's just not the case.
Yeah.
So best of luck to those guys. But you know what you could do?
What?
You could go to chargerchat.com and check out some of the sweet stuff we got over there.
That was a hard landing.
Ron Burgundy.
I'm trying, there's always 5 minutes before we get to it. And I'm looking at you guys going come on, one of you guys softball me something.
Yeah, we were no help.
This wasn't one of those times. But folks, going over to chargerchat.com, check out all the sweet stuff we've got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. A member section where you could chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. Go check it out, chargerchat.com. And again, for those of you watching this on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really does help us out. I know it really doesn't seem like it would help us out, but it does in a big, bad way. And we are so close to that 3,000 subscriber mark We're tickling it right now. We are just within arm's reach of it.
If we could get to 3 by the start of the season, that would be monumental.
That would be pretty special.
We might have to do a giveaway. We might have to do something. I don't know. Something crazy.
Something wild. So if you could help us out, if you're watching this on YouTube, just hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps us out. But now, folks, it is time to go on to the next segment. It is Bolt Insight. Let's see what we got.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and we are super lucky to have Ricky from Die Hard Bolt Club, Oklahoma. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Kevin? It's good to see you again, man. It's been a while.
It's been a minute, man. It's good to see you too, and we get to talk a little bit something different. Die Hard Bolt Club, little development for you and what you got going on. So we'll get there, but before we do, we just had a preseason game. Charger football is back. We got to see the powder blue on the field against a different team. What was it like seeing football again for you?
Man, football is back. Preseason, regular season, spring training, spring training, whatever you want to call it. We're back.
Yeah.
This is football, baby. This is Charger powder blues. Hopefully they wear a different color set next week. But man, I am so excited. So many things to talk about. My head is spinning. But I'm just happy to be on the call with you guys here today.
Yeah, man, we're pumped to have you. And so what were some of your impressions? Getting to see some, our backup quarterbacks, getting to see some new running backs. We got to see a lot of new stuff. What were some of the more exciting things you took away from that first preseason game?
Man, Josh Kelly's looking like a completely different beast. First off, right off the bat. I mean, the dude has the smile and the confidence back. So it's a whole package now. He looks like he trimmed down, but actually gained muscle, which is something I think we'd all like to do in our lives eventually.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Spiller, man, he runs with attitude. He does not want to go down. It's like his knees are just always have to be separate from the floor. He did not want to go down even when he was brought down. He kept turning those legs. Zion Johnson, man, chef kiss. Tommy T, you did it again. Out of the ordinary for you to be picking an offensive lineman in the first round, but hey, you're 2 for 2, man. Keep it up, Tommy T. No,
absolutely, dude. Yeah, those are exciting.
We just got that roster too, so that was kind of bumming, but had to be done.
It's seeing some of these guys play, man. Like the kind of vision that Spiller had and the kind of energy. Like I'd always talk about Justin Jackson having like a weak, weird jerky kind of running style. Spiller is smooth as butter, man. It is so fun to watch him run.
And it's just like it's a home run waiting to happen. Whenever he gets that ball, and it's like that silence before the lightning or before the thunder and the lightning, that awkward silence before a big sneeze. It's like, is he going to do it? All right. So he got tripped up. But he's a rookie. Analogy. He's still learning. It's there. You can see it. Just like we saw it last year with Rashawn Slater. As soon as he hit the field, we saw it. As soon as Zion hit the field, we saw it. Besides one play, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
No need.
Well, it's exciting. We get to actually talk real Charger football and players and what they're doing. And we get to talk to you about the Die Hard Bolt Club because you are a president of a chapter. So Die Hard Bolt Club, Oklahoma. What's up, dude? What's going on over there?
Hey, Mr. President over here, I guess. It's a club of 2, actually. So I'd really like to take this time to shout out 80 at Rage Theme on Twitter. He's the first official Die Hard Bolt Club member. So shout out to you, Aaron. Great to have you in the family.
That's awesome, man. So how did it come about? You said you just very recently started your chapter. So why did you start it? And what are your goals? What do you want to do with it?
So I initially wanted to just find other Charger fans in Oklahoma City. I moved out here with my now fiance.
Congrats!
Back in thank you. Back in 2019, we moved out here and we just try to make it work. And then all of a sudden, I figured out that I can't watch any Charger games with anybody. So I went through that whole 2020 season not really cheering with anybody, obviously with COVID as well. But with that, with us coming on the other side of that now, I really want to try to connect with as many people as possible. So over this off season, I think it was was probably sometime late February. I reached out to Die Hard Bolt Club and said, if you guys are looking to expand, I would love to be a part of this family. Please let me know what I need to do or what kind of steps to follow. I see you guys on Twitter. I see your presence at the games, and I want to be a part of that. And Rick reached out to me and said, not only did he want me to become a member, he wanted me to start a chapter. So it wasn't completely my choice, but I'm happy he pushed me, because now we have a home base where, you know, people from Tulsa, people from Oklahoma City, people from everywhere in Oklahoma can at least know that there is a fan base here.
That's so awesome, man. And then, you know, what do you want to do? Like, are you guys going to do watch parties? You're going to, like, what are your goals? What do you want to do with your club?
The goal is to do watch parties. Yes. And on top of that, we want to get involved with the community as much as possible, because that's something that they do very well down in LA and San Diego and up and down that coast. And out here, you know, people are very friendly and people want to help. You just got to give them something to do. So once we get enough people and enough people together to get a group going, I'd love to just start reaching out to YMCAs, reaching out to, you know, for example, foster homes or cleanups along the highway, anything that we can do to make the community better and meet other people in the process. That's where we want to be.
That's so awesome, man. And I love being a part of the Die Hard Bolt Club. I love seeing all these new people becoming members and like the energy, everything's so exciting about it. So I love that you know, because it does take work, you know, organizing, doing all the stuff. So you stepping up and doing that for that area, that's amazing. We commend you, man. And, you know, we hope nothing but the best for your group. And if somebody is in Oklahoma in that area and they want to, you know, join and become a part of the club, you know, how do they get a hold of you, and what's the process?
You can get a hold of me through Twitter at Die Hard Bolt Club OK, just DHBC OK. That's easy.
A good handle right there.
Oh yeah, and if you want to reach me personally, my @ is at Positively Bolted. I'm on the Positively Shameless podcast. I think it's a perfect mix. But once you go through that, there's a little application you got to fill out, just making sure that your values align with ours, making sure that you'll be respectful to those not only within the club, but outside of the club as well when we're out doing those watch parties, when we're out serving the community. After that, you get a whole membership application and you're part of the club. After that, it's just really paying attention to see what you can do within your community as we start building our fan base here in Oklahoma City. And if you do know any other Charger fans, please send them our way and let's get this thing growing.
I love it, dude. I'm excited for some Oklahoma City watch parties. Let's roll, man.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man, we're super excited. Thank you so much for coming on, and it was great talking with you. And dude, let's get this season started. I'm ready for this Raider game, man. I can't wait.
FTR.
Family, trust, respect. We'll go out of it on that, dude. Okay, love you, bye.
You heard him, folks. FTR. Family trust, respect. Ricky, congratulations, sir, both on the engagement and as Presidente of Oklahoma. If you're out in Oklahoma, folks, we need to get the number up. 2 can't be the final number. I need to see more than 2.
We got to get to 5 or 6 before.
Those are rookie numbers. We got to go.
Those are rookie. We got to
move it up. Move the needle. And yeah, and obviously all for good stuff like community service and stuff like that. That's a lot of what Die Hard Bolt Club is a part of. And I love seeing that kind of stuff, especially for people that are not in California. You know, if to see some community service from the Die Hard Bolt Club in Oklahoma, that's pretty damn special. And that's really what it's all about. So, Ricky, good on you, buddy. And keep it rolling, dude. Keep it going. All right. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Fan Focus. Let's see what fan we are bringing into focus this week.
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we are super lucky to meet Jesus from Escondido. What is going on, my friend?
None, just hanging out. It's an honor to meet you guys.
Super excited to meet you too, man. We start every episode with how you became a Charger fan. We want to know how did you become a Charger fan?
Well, it started in 2007. You know, unfortunate circumstances, but I became an orphan. I got adopted, and the people that adopted me, they're big Charger fans. My adopted grandma, she had season tickets.
Oh, cool.
So she took me to games and stuff. I've been to plenty of games at Qualcomm, and it's just from there, I became a real big fan. It's Drew Rivers, the good old days, and LT, all that. Plenty of good times,
That's awesome, man. So you've done Qualcomm, StubHub, SoFi. Yeah. You've run the gamut. You haven't done SoFi yet.
No, I want to, man. I want to.
So what was it like for you, man? Escondido, right down the road from where Kyle and I grew up. When the Chargers made the move, were you on board no matter what, or was it like a, had to feel it out process?
I was on board no matter what, man. Honestly, it's all money. You move to LA, bigger market, brings team value up. So I mean, hey, man, we all move. You move to Missouri,
yeah.
So, everybody moves, man.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan, you're a fan. That's what I feel.
I agree with you completely, man. So, what was it like, man? We had football. Football just came back. We got to see some Chargers on the field hitting people. What was it like, seeing football back for you?
It was exciting, man. I'm excited there were some good players. Obviously, Chris Rump with that sack.
Yeah.
Reed, he stepped up, hopefully, what was that guy's name? The guy that got burnt. I forgot his name. I mean, hey, it's all a process, man. You got to feel it out. But I mean, he's been doing really good in camp. I'm just excited for everything,
Yeah, it was fun to see it back, and the Raider game can't get here soon enough. So so we didn't get to see the starters. Who are you most looking forward to seeing hit the field on the opening game against the Raiders?
Man, Mac, man, let's get the sacks.
Mac gets some sacks.
Yeah, and JC Jackson, obviously, we got a bunch of good players, man. I'm excited for Zion Johnson, obviously. That's what I'm most excited about. I'm excited for the whole season. I mean, people say, "Oh, well, it's the Chiefs division to go through," and I agree, man. Like Raiders, Broncos, they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Raiders, come on, man. You guys don't have an offensive line, no defense. I mean, Broncos have a struggle. I mean, they think they're good, but their offensive line is struggling too. Big Fangio's out.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, it's between the Chargers and the Chiefs, man. And man, we just have a great team, man. I'm excited.
It's going to be fun. Within, once the season starts, within 6 days,
yeah,
we're going to have 2 games, man, against 2, AFC West opponents. So we're going to find out pretty quick, what this division is going to be about.
For sure, man. Yeah, it's just it's going to be exciting, man.
Yeah, big time. So let's get you out of here on this. What was one of your best Charger memories? One of the things that really sticks with you to this day.
Well, I met Eric Weddle. He actually, since I'm from Escondido, and he was living out here when he was playing with the Chargers. And one time I was actually hanging out with some friends in the neighborhood, and he happened to get gas. He had a Camaro back. I don't know if he still has it, but he was getting gas at the gas station, and I spotted him, and I told my friends, man, I was a teen, I'm like, man, look, that's Eric Weddle. They're like, no way. I'm like, yeah. They're like, no way, go talk to him. So I went over there. He was kind of threatened because he's seen a bunch of kids with like gangster clothes on. He's like, but I was just like, hey man, you Eric Weddle? He's like, yeah. And I shook his hand, told him it's an honor to meet him. Back in that time, that's when it was getting a little rough with the organization and stuff with him. But
yeah,
it was we're all humans, man.
For sure. Well, that's awesome. Meeting players in the real world is, I'm sure, odd. We see him at the stadium; they're larger than life. But Eric Weddle pumping his gas, that's so different, out of his element.
Yeah, and actually, since I went to San Pasqual, there was like a child development program, and he actually had his kid enrolled in that child development program. So one time I didn't talk to him or anything, but one time he was dropping off his kid, and I'm like, dude, is that Eric Weddle? And I told my teacher, and I was like, that's Eric Weddle, huh? And she's like, yeah, but don't talk to him.
That's awesome, man. Well, Jesus, it was a pleasure meeting you, man. I hope we can meet in person at some point. You get up to SoFi, we can, throw one back and watch some football.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to get out there, man, but it's rough, Those tickets are expensive.
They're getting up there, man. it was way crazier this year than last year because everyone wants to go to these Charger games now. It's a difference a year makes,
Yeah, it's exciting, but we're gonna make the playoffs. I know we are. I have faith. But keep what you guys are doing. You guys are awesome. You guys are my favorite podcast. I look forward to seeing you guys, listening to you guys every week, every Tuesday and Friday, man. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, brother. That means a lot to us. We really appreciate that. We appreciate your support, and it was amazing meeting you. So let's keep the conversation going, and we'll meet up in person at some point.
All right, Kev. Have a good one.
All right, thanks, brother. You too.
Jesus, first of all, thank you for sharing your story with us. That really, it can be hard to be personal, I think sometimes, but when you're with family, it's nice to open up. So thank you for sharing all of that with us. That was really pretty special, man. And dude, you got to freaking meet Eric Weddle. I mean, I haven't met a single Charger player yet. So you've got that way over me right now.
I know. It was just crazy. We were talking a little bit beforehand. He was, Escondido, San Pasqual. Like I'm sure our Pop Warner teams ran into each other at some point. But
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool to, I miss home. That's for sure. I miss San Diego for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to get Jesus out.
But you live it. You don't have to miss it because you're still there.
Loyal to San Diego.
Yeah. Haven't flown out of the nest yet.
Get away from mom and dad, no, Kyle.
Never. You kidding me? That childcare is priceless.
Yeah,
they're the best. They're the best
maker.
Babysitters on the history of the earth.
This is true.
Again, Jesus, thank you so much for coming on and talking to Kev, and thank you for the kind words, dude. That it truly does. It means a lot to us hearing that.
Yeah.
We always want to just do good for you guys. So the fact that you guys enjoy it just means that much more to us.
The fact that anyone even knows our release schedule, like when our episodes come out, right? I don't even know. Half the time I'm like, what's today? Oh, we're recording today.
A new episode.
Shit. Yeah.
I don't remember doing that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Ask Boltfam. First preseason game in.
Shit.
Is it going to get spicy? Let's find out.
Let's go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
We start off Ask Boltfam with our old favorite, Senora Snappy, who asked the question. Dearies, preseason game 1, the most wonderful time of the year. Rams fans were telling Charger fans to pay rent. Charger fans were shutting down Whose House chants. A Rams fan told me that the Chargers were a long way from home. I pointed out that the Rams are a long way from St. Louis. Gentlemen, what word-flinging exercises should Charger fans be practicing? I have a strong feeling that the mudslinging will be one for the ages this season. Kay, love you, bye.
Yeah, this is...
Great comeback, by the way, Senora Snappy.
That is a good one. Yeah,
very good.
We're all far from home.
It's a long walk from St. Louis, huh, bud?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, anytime you can end something with bud or pal,
yeah,
you can really reply with anything. Just call him bud or pal,
right?
I'm glad you're on board with me on that. I get called bud I don't know if I have a bud vibe, but people call me bud all the time. I'm like, what am I, like 12 years old? Why are you calling me bud?
Yeah, I mean, I'll call you bud. Yeah. You're my bud.
But if anybody says it to you, you say it the other way. You go South Park style. So if somebody says, "Bud," like, I'm not your bud, pal. Yeah. You know,
I think we could have a new segment on our show for trash talking.
Yeah.
And invite Kevin's wife because she is the world's best trash talker.
That'd be a good segment.
There's no one better.
She's made people like really question themselves and a couple tears. She's mean in a good, funny way. We haven't brought Josie on. We should bring her on.
Yeah, we need a trash talking segment each week for whoever the opponent is.
All right.
She'll just come up. She doesn't have to come on. She just give us the puns or the funny little anecdotes, and we'll share them.
We're bringing her on. We're bringing her on. This is going to happen. I'll get her warmed up, and then we'll see if she can, give us some tools for the trade for when we go out and slay verbally.
Have a few in your back pocket for that opposing
Just have a
fan.
couple ready to go. If somebody's being a complete asshole,
Yeah,
and
we want to help you out.
You only need one good one, right? Because you see how many different fans, they didn't know you just told that same one 5 seconds ago.
No.
You just throw it right back out there.
You just got to catch them off guard. The thing is catching them off guard. I've seen her catch so many people off guard. But you're gone before they can formulate another word. That's what you need, and that's what we'll bring her on for. She's fantastic at that.
Okay. There you go. The final word with Josie Duggan.
No, let's do it. Yeah, she's going to love this. Awesome.
That's good.
Senior Snappy, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Logan Roy Kent, who asked the question. So, Joshua Kelly,
Yeah.
yeah. How about that, Joshua Kelly?
Yeah. He's different. He's something new.
He's a suitor.
He's the suitor.
Joshua Kelly, obviously we talked about it earlier, but this guy, man, I mean, obviously came on with Anthony Lynn, part of the Anthony Lynn, rollover into the Staley business. And we, didn't see a lot of production last year. But like you said,
he was in
I
a
feel like it was
doghouse.
just he fumbled, and then he fumbled a couple times under Anthony Lynn, and Anthony Lynn just broke his spirit, and he just wasn't able to recover.
Yeah, he was probably really mean to him. He probably said some really hurtful things. Maybe a little too mean. Maybe he went too far. And sometimes you have to go. You have to go apologize, and it didn't happen. You know. So he's got a new coach,
rebuilding that relationship with Staley. Yeah. And paying off dividends, apparently, at least with this first preseason game. We'll see if it continues. But Logan Roy Kent, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to what I can only assume is Brian LaRoe. And shout out to Ronnie Delgado. You guys both pretty much asked the same question, but I'm going with Brian LaRoe.
Let's go.
Who asked the question?
One game sample felt like Stick would give the team the best chance to win if Herbert missed time. Daniel is more the mentor figure, but I feel like Stick is the more complete backup. Thoughts? Really don't want to see them keep 3 QBs active.
I had some time to think about this. I think there's going to be 3 quarterbacks this season. I think next season is the make or break thing with what they're going to do with Chase Daniel.
Well, they're both on the one last year of their contract, right? They re-signed Chase to a 1-year deal, and this is the last year of Easton's rookie deal. So it really is like, why are we holding on to him? There's no long-term future.
Well, you have Stick. He's not going anywhere because he's on his rookie deal still. Like, he's going to stay. I think there's going to be 3 quarterbacks this year. There's nothing that says it's not going to be any different than what we've had. And just, what are we here for? We're here for Justin Herbert. So if those 2 guys make him better during the week and help him, okay, do it. So I think that's kind of where it's going to be. I don't think we should be disappointed if there's 3 quarterbacks on the roster. And just more in hindsight, listening to them talk about it and hearing Coach talk about the competition, but like, it's not really like, it doesn't really matter because they're both going to be on the team. Like, that's just kind of the energy I got.
I think it's a good point. I think, we talk about not wanting 3 quarterbacks because we want there to be another position that needs an extra guy for depth. But if you have 2 guys that make Herbert a better quarterback, and Herbert is the guy, he is the leader, and just having, taking an extra roster spot just to give Herbert that extra little bit of
extra prep, whatever
extra something, whatever it is, whatever it might be. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the case, but as we've seen in some of this offseason film, that obviously the camaraderie between Daniel and Stick and Herbert, is pretty thick. I mean, they're pretty well encroached together. So, I think it's an interesting topic. I absolutely understand the argument of not keeping three QBs. But if you have an extra roster spot that makes Herbert better, might be worth it.
I'll say we'll never see one.
If you had to pick one to ride with right now, who's your backup? Who? Let's just say you have this guy's going to start this game. Who would you rather have starting, Chase Daniels or Easton Stick?
Easton Stick.
I would say Chase Daniel. I
would
think
say Easton Stick. I just think he's more a little more dynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously from this preseason game, I'm not going to say it's completely different, but it certainly was more productive than we've seen in the past from Easton Stick in other preseason games. I just think Daniel with the veteran status and with basically being around, I think he can see the ball as good as Herbert and can really help him in that regard. If there's gonna be somebody on the team, I'd rather it be somebody who's been around to help Herbert as opposed to Stick, who's only got one extra year.
This guy has to play and win a game for us to make the playoffs.
Who do you want on the field?
Justin's not playing.
A cold.
He got COVID.
He's got COVID. He's out 1 week. Who would you rather play? Is that a little easier?
I'd say Stick.
Exactly. It's a little easier because we don't know what's going on in the film rooms. We don't know what they're preparing, how they're preparing with each other. You know what I mean? Like on the field, after that game, I want Easton Stick.
Yeah,
but it's been one preseason game. Chase Daniel has a whole NFL career that he's got on tape. So they're going to keep battling out because Justin's not playing, and we just cut our other quarterback. So it'll be those two playing the rest of the preseason.
Right. Yeah, we might get surprised at the end of all of this preseason business, and we might end up having two quarterbacks, but we'll find out as it goes on. Brian LaRoe, Ronnie Delgado, thank you guys for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Cerberus21, who asked the question. I'd like to apologize beforehand for jinxing Deion Leonard. I was right, of course, about him stinking up the joint, but I never meant for it to happen. I was hoping he'd prove me wrong and I'd eat my words. Curse my godlike intuition. And come on, who else thought, Derwin, what the heck you doing on the field, man? That 33 got me hallucinating. My question is, how did we feel about the right tackle battle? Or, if that question has been asked 4 times already or something, then did watching us fail to sack the QB when we were on top of him like 6 or 7 times concern you? I love seeing our backups destroy their own line, but it seems like so many defenders can do everything up until the tackling part.
Yeah, there was one sack where I can't remember who it was, but somebody stepped up and cracked the quarterback, like hit him. You could hear it, and he rolled off of it because they didn't wrap. So, missed tackles. That's the most frustrating thing as a fan watching, that not happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the missed tackles. The only thing that really comforts me is just knowing that these are the rookies. These are the second and third stringers. I know that we've got guys that know how to tackle. We've got J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Kyle Van Noy, Sebastian Joseph Day. All of these guys are just waiting in the wings. These are guys that know how to tackle. And so I'm not as worried about it. But it was a little triggering as far as seeing that going like, God damn it, can't these guys just freaking tackle these players? Because it did. It was reminiscent of some of the plays that we saw last year. Because that one play where that guy got hit like 6 or 7 times, it was like, oh my God, like just
it wasn't
take
like
him
it
down.
was a big guy. It was their little quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't like a big, strong, thick break tackle kind of guy.
No, it just slipped out of him.
And I said that on the last episode. It's preseason. I want to see football. I want to see blocking and tackling.
Mm-hmm.
And the tackling just was not great. It bottom line, we just missed way too many tackles. I know it's our backups, but they're playing against their backups. They should be able to tackle backups.
Absolutely. 100%
so none
agree.
of that was very reassuring.
And one of the more frustrating moments in that game, there's one player that kind of was frustrating for me was a Brandon Sebastian, number 38. They scored, I think, 2 touchdowns on him. And then in between, like they did something, he like blocked the ball. He did something. He broke something up kind of. Then he came back like, you didn't use the magic word. And then they threw a touchdown on him. Like the series of events. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like pull your head out. So I don't know why that made me think of that. Just like not tackling, not being in the right place, but still being cocky. Like that wasn't my favorite secondary moment. And I don't know why I brought that up. It just came here.
You had to get it off your chest.
It came to mind. You're frustrated.
Fell out of here.
Vent, Kev, vent. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
And as far as the right tackle battle, it's still a battle. There's no clear winner yet. We need to see some more game tape.
Yeah.
But Cerberus21, thank you for asking the question. Be careful with your powers, your jinxing powers.
Yeah, you
know what you're capable of doing. Use it in good health, sir. Let's move it on now to Illustrious Stay 728.
Certified fresh.
You think? Who asked the question? Most important question. How did J.K. Scott, Hopkins, Harris, and the rest of the special teams look? I thought they looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, the hang time's legit.
I mean, as far as those three guys, it's J.K. Scott. The hang time was noticeable. Hopkins, kick man, he kicked it between the sticks. And Harris didn't throw the ball over anybody's head, so far money well spent.
Snapper, it's all working out so far.
And did anything stand out to you, Kyle, when you were watching any of the special teams plays?
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, the only main thing that stuck out was J.K. Scott's hang time. Like in person, that's what I saw the most, and it was pretty impressive. We didn't get to see any field goal attempts,
True,
but no missed PATs, which is always a good thing.
Always a plus,
because those have a way of biting you.
We've seen those before. Yeah.
So all that looked good. Our long snapper went unnoticed, which is always what you want.
Exactly.
Big time paid long snapper out there doing his job. Special teams, in my opinion, as long as it's not noticed, it's in a better shape than it was last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big time. So Illustrious Stay 728. Thank you for asking the question, and thanks for joining. Let's move it on now to Hangry Seth, who asked the question.
Like, what's up, my dudes? What a great preseason game. Like, the rookies did well and the O-line depth looked great, but was it me, man, or did, Tillery just, not show up? Like, what's your thoughts on our D-line after the preseason one? All right, bros, till next time. K-love you, bye. All right.
Tillery's still Tillery, dude. He will have moments where he looks good and then other moments where he just gets driven back 8 to 10 yards. And it happened a lot in that last game, and those aren't starters.
No,
I don't know what he's doing. It's so confusing to watch. And then you see Morgan Fox playing out of his mind, rushing, going hard, not getting moved around. What first round pick? I know, but man, what's going on?
Yeah,
I just don't trust Jerry Tillery at all. I just don't trust him to go out there and play hard.
Right,
and that's really all you can ask from anyone. Is the only thing you can control is your effort and how hard you're playing. I don't know. I just don't trust that the guy cares that much. So I don't want a guy that I don't think cares on the football field. Like Justin Herbert, that guy cares. He wants to win so bad.
Right.
Derwin James wants to win. Keenan Allen wants to, Jerry Tillery, maybe he does, but I just don't think he cares that much. I think he wants to be in Hawaii sitting in his house on the beach.
It's a little more questionable because we're not hearing about Jerry Tillery's working with some special guy and really changing how he's working out or his nutrition or anything like that. We're hearing it from other guys that are trying to get better. We're not hearing it from him. That's not to say that he's not doing it. But we're not seeing the results on the field. Like Kev said, this is Jerry Tillery going up against rookies and second stringers. Like he's a first round pick. The guy should be going to town on these guys, and we're just not seeing it.
For my I can only say from my point of view, if I were in a situation and I'm playing in a preseason game deeper into the game, unlike any other year I've been on this team since I'm a first round pick, I would go extra fucking hard to try and impress.
Yeah.
And I'm just not seeing that. I'm just not seeing that from what he did in that last game. So I don't know. I think we all kind of see where this is going.
Yeah, I think the only thing you can say is the coaches can't be seeing it either. Otherwise, he wouldn't be playing in a preseason game.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why he's playing in a preseason game, is that his position on the team isn't solid yet, isn't solidified. All the other guys that aren't playing, they're on the team. There's no question about that. Jerry Tillery is still a bit of a question mark. So will he get better in game 2 or game 3 of the preseason?
We'll say all of the last 5 years, first round picks didn't play in that game. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Well, that's what it was. So, Hangry Seth, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to SRP Dad. And shout out to Rat Human and Robert Mason. Rat Human, I think we've had before. Yeah. Robert Mason might be new, though. I'm not sure.
Fresh. Well, yeah. For your consideration.
Consideration.
2 T's. Rat with 2 T's.
Rat with 2 T's. Rat Human and Robert Mason asked basically the same question, but I'm going with SRP Dad. And he asked the question. Damn, bro. Did you see Tillery at the top of the depth chart? Staley must have been smoking that Maui Wowie with Tillery during the off season. Hold on, one more. Sure wish I was invited. Anyways, maybe Staley's trying to increase his trade value. On another note, let's go for a big one here. I was totally getting Wes Welker 2.0 vibes from Michael Bandy. How did you guys like his performance? And can you see him making the team and getting snaps? Oh, God, one more. Caleb, bye.
Oh, man, this is good. This is a good script because he told you exactly what to do.
He told me when to take the hits. I will say that was too many hits, though. Now I'm bloated with soda.
Lightheaded?
SRP Dad.
Yeah. The Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew. All right. Yeah. Wes Welker 2.0 vibes from Michael Bandy. Were you feeling it?
It looked good.
I mean, he was the standout. That's from that game. What do I remember? I remember him catching 7 balls for 70-something yards and scoring a touchdown. You know, he was the one of the bigger factors in the game. So you can't just say he didn't have a good game and he wasn't balling. There's just no way he gets into the game with the receivers that we have on our team.
Right.
He kind of came from nowhere and kind of took over that. So maybe he's Michael the Bandito Bandy. Kind of came in. You know what I mean?
I like it.
He came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere, held us all up. We had no idea what was happening.
All episode to bust that bad boy
No,
out.
I just came up with it in my brain. It took me a while. Michael
my wife just texted me.
Yeah. Josie's in the other corner. This is how good she is. Yeah, she's just sending me a text.
Bandito.
The great Bandito.
Perfect. Nailed it.
The Sultan of SWAT.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, the size, the stature, and the speed, it had a bit of Wes Welker-ness to it, absolutely. And I mean, could we see him at the very least getting the practice squad? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Making the top team. I mean, that's a lot of wide receivers to carry on your active roster. So he'll be going up against some competition for sure. And hey, maybe he might be the one that squeaks through, and maybe somebody gets cut that we aren't expecting.
And he was returning kicks too last night. So maybe he's that guy on the practice squad if anything happens to DeAndre Carter. And
there you go. Yeah.
You got to step up. You pull him up quick.
That's what Coach is always saying. You got to be a special teams contributor if you're not a starter. So
right.
That could be playing his favor.
Multifaceted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, SRP Dad, Rad Human, and Robert Mason, thank you guys for asking about Mr. Bandy. Let's move on now to Tom Telesco's burner account, who asked the question, why do we only have 4 people on the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 4th and 1? We were like 0 for 7 stopping them last night on those plays because we got pushed off the line of scrimmage. Why don't we stack the line on those types of plays, especially when we have a roster full of good DBs now? I know it's preseason and we're not showing our best stuff, but our failures on 3rd down looked a lot like last year's, and it's really concerning me. This is the year we need to win the Super Bowl, and we can't have Staley relying on a scheme that only works if we have AD at nose tackle. To be honest, I was really unimpressed with Staley's defensive calls last night. We failed last night on 3rd down and gave up 28 points. Staley was the weak spot last night, to be honest, as our players looked really good for the most part. Caleb, you buy. Spiller time.
Jesus, Tom Telesco's burner account.
He was.
He didn't. Tom, you didn't hear my warning at the end of the last episode.
My warning.
This was a preseason game, and there was a lot of missed tackles that I don't think that our boy Staley was calling from the sideline.
All right, now on this play, I want you to wrap your arms around him, but then let him go really quick.
Yeah.
Break on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break.
Yeah, I don't know if we can blame what happened on Saturday on play calls. Yeah, I agree. You could toss heavier bodies in there on those 4th downs for sure. That's definitely an option. But there were several times where we only had 4 guys up on the line and a linebacker shot through and missed the tackle. He hit the guy and got driven back 4 yards on the goal line. It was 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 down there on the goal line. We hit the guy 2 yards deep. He spun off a tackle and scored.
Right.
That's not a defensive scheming issue.
Right.
So be careful putting all the blame on a coordinator. Like I'm a coach. I was a coach. I coach flag football now, but
hey, you got that going for you.
I wrangle like cats is really what I'm doing with 5 and 6 year olds.
Wild level of credentials that they're all over the map.
Yeah. But it's easy to blame the coach right away if something doesn't go right.
Right.
But I would not say that whole game, the reason we gave up points was because of our defensive coordinator. You got guys that have never played in the NFL before out there trying to make plays. We had our safety tackle our corner and let the guy run for a 50-yard touchdown. That wasn't a scheme issue.
Was that? Right. I think that was my guy, Brandon Sebastian again. I think he was just all over the place. Like, there were a couple of players. That was the one I just kept watching. Like, what is happening here? Why are you out there?
Why are you doing this? Yeah, for me, it wasn't necessarily the play calls. Honestly, for me, my biggest issue was the fucking penalties, man. Like the penalties were out of control. Those pass interferences with the cornerbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think there was 3 of them, and all 3 of those, if they just would have turned around and realized the ball was coming their way, they could have turned around and caught it themselves because it was being underthrown. So that's my biggest issue, and that's obviously not a scheme issue. That's them getting better ball presence.
But here's the problem. You could also go and say you could blame coaching. Why are they not looking back to the ball? Why are they not coached up better to do those things? You could always get mad at the coach. There's always a way to blame.
Are you telling me to get mad at the coach right now?
No, what I'm saying is woosah. It's the preseason. Let it go.
Calm the down, okay?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whose fault it was. All that we hope is they learn from this preseason crap and it gets fixed before week 1.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
Tackle.
Tom Telesco's burner account. Hope you're cooled off by the next episode, but thank you for asking the question.
We look forward to your next one.
Let's move it on now to Gavin Gibson.
Yeah.
Who asked the question? What player impressed you most and what player disappointed you most? All right, so the best and the worst. Who impressed? Who disappointed?
I was most impressed by Chris Rump. Just the power that he brought was so much different.
Yeah.
And I think that we are extremely talented at that position, but not extremely deep. We have 2 guys that are absolute studs. And then we are kind of grasping for who's going to take over that backup spot there too. And Chris Rump, Kavanaugh, obviously, Jamal Davis is in there trying to make noise for himself. But watching him be able to use some like power rush moves, not just his quick agility, because he's a big, strong guy. He's 240. He's long, and he used that length and now a little bit of strength. I'm excited to see where he keeps developing into this year, especially now under the tutelage of Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Josh Kelly on this one. I had him on the outside, 100% on the outside before this game. He looks different. He just looks like a different player. So that caught me off guard the absolute most.
I would say J.K. Scott. I think he
go punter.
That's a good pull.
Kick man.
That's a good pull.
I think that was a difference maker, especially for special teams in an area that we needed to improve. I thought they did a great job, and so I'm going to say yay for J.K.
Yay for J.K. Nice.
What was the player that disappointed you the most?
Easy. 38, Brandon Sebastian. He's on my shit list.
Can he disappoint you if you have no expectation for him?
No, I don't usually have expectations for players I don't know, but he really put himself on my map of players that just...
He made himself known in the wrong way.
Just chat my ass. Just didn't make me super happy with it. Just especially the play where he broke one up And then he had like a bad play, broke one up, was all cocky, and then came back and got a touchdown scored on him. It kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. So that was
sure.
my least favorite player of that game.
I don't know. My most disappointed is Derwin James. Just sign the freaking contract, get the deal.
Good answer. Good answer. Outside the box.
He's starting to get on my nerves. I got it the first week of training camp, but come on, guy. It's like we're halfway through here. We're getting close to games.
You're gonna need to practice a little bit.
For me, I'm gonna say Deion Leonard. I feel like he was getting targeted quite a bit near the end there, and I think drew some of those penalties and really needs to tighten it up and get back in there. I think he had a lot of hype in training camp, and I think he needs to just tighten it back up, man, and get back out there. It's not unfixable, but it was a bit of a disappointment seeing all of those instances. All right, well, there you go, Gavin Gibson. Thank you.
Thanks, brother,
for asking the question. Moving on to House of Hain, who basically asked the same question as Gavin Gibson, but he adds a little bit of something extra. So it goes something like this.
Hey, it's a Bolt Fam drinking game. Shots whenever you hear 100% pumped or absolutely. Question, who stood out for you guys this first preseason game? As always, FTR and K-Lovey Bye.
100%, absolutely. This is a great question.
Dude. Hey, if you want to die from alcohol poisoning, 100%. Absolutely, go for it.
Do we say that a lot? We must. We must say this.
It's funny how when other people listen to you talk a lot, they pick up on that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because like as a coach, like I'll hear kids mocking me in the like my taglines of stuff that I say all the time. Really? I didn't even know that they were taglines. They'll come back to me like 3, 4, 5 years later and be like, "You still saying that, coach? Like, come on, let's come up with something new."
Come on, coach.
But go ahead, start all the games you want. That'll make us more fun to listen to.
You'd be the real sloppy by Bolt fan, that's for sure.
You absolutely will be. All
right, I'm going to try my best not to say.
Yeah, now I'm going to be self-conscious about it every time I say.
Did you say 100%?
You absolutely will be.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best not to say 100% pumped or absolutely. Let's see.
We'll see how long we go.
Thanks for the call out, House of Hain.
Thanks. Let's move it on now to a free. Who asked the question? All right, fellas, I know you're going to get a bunch of preseason game questions. I'm going to steer my question toward the players' top 100 list. With 150 already out, which guys are left do you think makes the list, and what number range every 10 do they come in? Caleb, you buy?
I have no idea. I haven't looked at this.
We have a lot.
So as it stands right now, from the first 50 that they've released, we've seen Rashawn Slater come in at 79, and Corey Linsley, I think, came in at 60. Yeah.
60, yeah.
So from 50 to 1, there's still other players that are to be announced in the top 100.
Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Justin Herbert, and Austin Eck. I think Eck should be top 50.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that's
I think there's going to be a lot
50.
of Chargers in the top
10.
50.
Justin's in the top 10.
Justin,
100%.
yeah, I think Justin's top 5.
This is player voted, so this is a different kind of voting. This is this is the one I trust the most because these are the competitors. Yeah. So I think this is going to look good for the Chargers when this is all said and done.
Big time. I think Justin's top 5. I think Eckler's going to be top
30.
10.
I say top 30.
I'll say top 10.
No, he's not going to get top 10.
He didn't get the Pro Bowl.
He didn't even make the Pro Bowl.
But that's also fan voting versus what the other players think of him. So that's
I think he'll be in the 40s somewhere, to be honest.
I think
30s.
30s.
Fair enough. Joey Bosa?
Joey's going to be in the 20s. Along with Khalil.
Yeah.
You think they'll just do back to back?
I don't know. That's hard.
25 and 26, Khalil and Joey.
There's just a lot of really good players in the NFL. So you're talking the top 30, because like I still have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams to put. They're not all going to be in the 20s. And Derwin. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to be littered in the top 50, which is cool.
We'll put this on our one of our our breakdowns or list.
We'll put Justin in the top 5.
Yeah, I think Justin will confidently be in top 5. Yeah, I might even say top 3.
Anybody else in the top 10? You think? I don't think so.
Honestly, I think Eckler could, because I think it's player voted, and I think they look a lot about like how they performed last year. Eckler was scored the most points last year as a running back. I think you got to take that into consideration.
They're not going to put him above Jonathan Taylor.
No. He's not popular enough in that respect.
He's not popular enough, I don't think. Yeah.
I think he's top 30. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right,
Wooly.
Yeah.
We want to make a bet?
All of our.
Yeah, I'll make a bet.
Let's make a friendly bet.
Okay.
What?
So
come up with what's the wager?
I'm not good at these, but I want to make a bet.
So is it just top 10 or not top 10? That's the only bet.
I think
I'll give you top 20. I don't think he'll make top 20.
I absolutely think he'll make top 20.
Okay. You go he'll be top 20. I say he's out of the 20. What do you think, Gav? Out of the 20?
Out of the 20.
Okay. What should we say? $10? There's got to be something funnier we can do.
You got to do something on the podcast. You got to wear like a mask or something the whole
or
episode.
week one.
Something stupid.
Something for the Charger game.
Yeah.
All right. If I lose, I will go to Party City and find something ridiculous to wear for the next episode.
Okay.
Or whenever I don't know when they're going to release the top 50. So if Eckler doesn't make the top 20, I will go to Party City and find something ridiculous to wear.
Deal.
Okay. Will you do the same if he is?
Sure.
Yes.
In the top 20?
A Halloween store just opened up down the street, so I'm.
Perfect.
You know how much I love Halloween. You don't have to tell me twice to go get a sick costume.
I'm not saying this shouldn't be sick. This should be something stupid. You should be like in a pink wig or something like that.
Well, I'm going to make it look
or
sick.
Chase from Paw Patrol.
Just
don't
Paw
make
Patrol
it look
head.
sick.
Yeah, I'm going to do a mascot head for sure. The whole episode.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. A free thank you for inspiring the bet of the century. Let's move it on now to Chargers Mac, who asked the question.
What is taking so long on this Derwin extension? And should we be worried?
I'm not worried.
I'm starting to get a little concerned.
I'm not worried.
You're not worried? I'm not worried. I'm getting concerned. Okay? I'm a little concerned.
You're in the levels of worry, and you're at the bottom level of concern.
Yeah, it's beginning to grow towards a worry, but it's a concern. Yeah.
I think part of it has to do with how reporters tweet out about it, going like, oh, deal should be done within the next couple days. And so we get hopeful that like, oh yeah, deal should be done in the next couple days. And then it doesn't happen. And so I don't necessarily think that that's the fault of, Tom or the agent or anything like that. I think that's the fault of the people reporting that like, oh, they're pretty close. It should be coming in pretty soon.
Yeah.
And when we don't get it, then it's like disappointing. And then, then you do get concerned and a little bit worried that like, well, wait a minute. I thought this was supposed to happen pretty quickly. What's going on? Again, as long as it happens before the season starts, that's all that matters. That's really all that matters. It's not like Derwin's going to play in any of these preseason games anyways. So
he needs to practice, though.
He needs to hit people.
He does like tackling people. We do know that.
You need to hit, you need to get that conditioning in and like get used to it and get fired up and get going and get to full speed, even if it's just practice. So I'm not worried that it's not going to happen. I'm just starting to get worried that he's not going to be 100% ready to go by week one. At this point, we only have 3 weeks of full practice left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we need to win that game because we're going to that. And I'm not walking out of there not having beat the shit out of the Raiders. Okay?
All because we couldn't figure out this stupid terminology in a contract.
Pay him or take a little less. Just come to a common ground. Okay.
Right.
You're hurting us.
You're not thinking about me.
Not thinking about me and my feelings. Okay. You're being really fucking selfish right now. And I don't appreciate it.
Now you two shake hands and work it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Say I'm sorry.
Yeah, tell him you're sorry.
Go to your room.
I'm sorry.
We need life coach to step in here and tell them both sides how great they
Send
are.
Staley into the negotiations. Let him be the arbitrator for some of this.
Yeah, I'm sure
he cares about both parties, and he'll get it.
He
done.
does.
Yeah.
He's very convincing. Chargers Mac, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to the next one. It is Melanie who asked the question.
Dude. New All-In Season 2 teaser just came out. Gave me the chills. Question, what has been your favorite All-In episode?
It was so good, right?
How I watched
did that
it.
Make you?
I watched it a couple times because
big time.
we are jonesing for some All-In. Those that didn't see, All-In dropped like their whole scheduled date and everything like that. So you can go mark your calendar. You'll know exactly when every All-In episode is coming out. But favorite all-in episode now. I'm trying to remember all the previous ones.
It was the one when we beat the Chiefs. Because the way they broke down that like final drive and like the excitement and the energy. And I think that was the first one, right? That was like one of the first ones where they actually showed the game. Because they did a little thing on the Washington game. And then I think the next week we play the Chiefs. Am I wrong? I think I'm right.
I think you're right.
I think you're right.
I think it was that episode because it had like this build up and like all this slow motion.
Well, yeah, it was a tense game. It was close.
That was one. I think that was one of our biggest wins last season. So that was fun,
big time. I think I think the Washington one might be my favorite because I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure that was the one where Justin gave Staley the game ball where he held onto the ball
moment,
that he held onto that whole time, and we got to yeah. So I think that's absolutely one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was good. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I don't know if I have one. I just like them all.
Great answer.
They're all my favorites.
Yeah,
my little baby.
They just make me happy. I look forward to them, and it's the thing we were complaining about. It's like the Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks sucked because we had to share it with another team, and Hard Knocks just sucks now. If you watch an all-in episode and then go watch an episode of Hard Knocks, they're doing shit no one gives a shit about. Like I want to see about the team. I want to learn more about the players. It's not about I want to go hang out with somebody's wife and stuff. Like that's cool.
And I want to learn about our players that are on the team, not like these hopefuls that get cut.
Exactly. Like it's more of a reality show there. I want to learn about like our top guys and learn more about them. So
our players, our coaches.
We're lucky because no one else really in the league.
We really are.
This, like independent, private, documentary every week. Essentially every other week.
Right. Because, they don't get paid for that. I mean, they get YouTube views. That's about it. So it's pretty special to have that. So, Melanie, we are absolutely looking forward to the next season, and we cannot wait. And thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to DIY paint.
Certified fresh.
Certified fresh. Yeah, he is.
Who asked the question?
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hello there, Bolt Brothers. Before I ask my question, I want to say, f*** the Raiders, am I right?
Yeah.
Now that that's out of the way, we can get to my question. Seeing the huge amount of money these franchise quarterbacks are getting, do you think that after this season is over, the Chargers should extend Herbert? After all, if they wait too long, the going rate to extend the top quarterbacks is just going to go up, and Herbert's going to have another monster season, so maybe extending him early makes sense. What do you guys think? Thanks for taking my questions seriously, and f*** the Raiders. Bolt up and hunker down. Okay, love you, boy.
Yeah, f*** the Raiders.
F*** 'em. I mean, it's kind of the same argument with Derwin James as far as like trying to get him in, get the contract extension done before he has a quote unquote monster season. The same argument could be said for Herbert, but Herbert's going to make more money regardless. It doesn't matter. He's going to have a bigger contract than Patrick Mahomes. I guarantee it.
I just don't want to see what's happening right now with Derwin James to Justin Herbert. I do not have enough.
Your heart can't take it.
There's heart disease in my family. Okay. I don't have the ability to sit through this shit if Justin's going to hold in. Okay. Hold in my ass. Pay him his money. Get the contract going. Just fucking do it. Okay. I'm pretty stressed out about this.
Hold in my ass.
Hold in my ass. Sounded different in my head.
Yeah. 100%.
100%. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It makes sense.
Drink
Get
up.
it done. Take a shot.
100%.
Yeah. We 100% agree. So I think get it done. Get it done sooner better than later. I would agree. So DIY paint, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Boltville 714, who asked the question.
So, I was totally at the preseason game, right, fool? And, we were hella getting down with the Boltfam because you know how we do, fool. But I kept an eye out for that vato, coach.
but I didn't see that fool. I figured it was because there was like so many of us compared to the Lambs fans, but you know, we all blended in. Anyways, fools. So like, I figured at the KC versus Chargers, we're going to stick out like sore thumbs. So it should be easier to find you fools and meet you, you know? So my question is, so are we going to tailgate? If so, what are we drinking? Any plans for an after party? Oh, and those pirate hookers behind a dumpster in a dark, piss-smelling alley in Oakland's underneath a sewer with a homeless Raider fan sleeping inside the dumpster filled with an Oakland merch, dirty diapers, and AB helmets. Okay, love you. Bye, vatos. Kevin's gone. All right.
The gum spit impression.
Well, Boltville 714 asked for the Chola voice. Chola. Maybe I should have made it a bit more feminine. Well, it's the Cholo voice. I'm sorry, Boltville. I missed the A. You capitalized the A too. That's my fault.
That was a fumble. You know what I was thinking about too? Kevin. I think Kevin with the certified fresh, I think Kevin's a little bit like Josh Kelly. He fumbled a couple times and now he's just not himself. He's just scared to he's scared to do anything.
You guys have
no confidence.
Come down on me so many times. I'm just a shell of the man I used to be.
You are just a shell. Yeah, you have no confidence in your certified fresh.
No, I was gonna say certified fresh to that one, but I panicked.
No way. No way. Okay, so Kansas City game. I think it's gonna be hard for us to do any of that because Kevin and I are gonna be working and we are gonna like
literally
fly
land.
in.
I think we land at like 4 and we're going like straight to the game.
And then right back out the next
morning we leave. But I don't know. We're gonna meet up.
We'll absolutely meet up for sure.
We'll be able to see you in the stadium. So basically,
we'll find you.
Their powder blue stands out, and there's not going to be a ton of us. Let's just be honest. That's just not how it rolls there.
Right.
So raise your hand. We'll see you.
Give me one of these.
Let's get a towel. Let's do like the YMCA, like somewhere. We'll spot you. And then we'll come hang out. Life will find a way.
we will absolutely find you. I just don't think that we'll have the opportunity for any after party or tailgating or anything like that because we're really just going to be flying by the seat of our pants.
If we win and things go really well,
Kevin.
Don't mind being crazy hungover when I get on my flight to go back to St. Louis. I'm just saying.
It's only like a 20-minute flight, isn't it?
Yeah, like that's fine.
I don't know if that's enough time to sober up before you land.
But whatever. All
right. Well,
I'll take a nap at the airport. It'll be fun.
Kevin is a party animal. No matter what.
If we win decisively or it's like a crazy game, we'll find something.
Life will find a way.
Life will find a way.
All right. Well, there you go. Boltville 714. Thank you for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with our old favorite, Jeebs.
The D is silent.
Who asked the question? Right, Boltchachos. Long time no. Shit. Bloody hell. I bit my fucking lip. I hate when I fucking... Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Bloody fucking ass pimpros. Right. Hey, did you catch that game? I'm a bloody fucking idiot. You got a bloody fucking pulse. Of course you did. Tell me not. Did it look like the DBs were studying Vato's bloody fucking rookie season? I was in section 333 screaming bloody fucking turn around. I felt like I was Bonnie freaking Tyler. Good God, man. It felt like they got most of their yards from our stupid fucking penalties. We made their only bloody fucking backup QB look like a bloody pro bowler. Hey, you stopped biting my Miley fucking Cyrus. Ouch, you fucker. What the seriously fucking hell? So anyways, I'll keep this party short and bloody fucking sweet. I got one question for you boat-loving motherfuckers. When are you gonna give the people what they want, huh? Stop being bloody fucking greedy. When are we getting bloody fucking live stream, huh? The people want it. Give it to them. That's it. Now they gotta go and take care of this fucking lip. It hurts like hell. Fuck. Oh, yeah.
So Raiders, can't love you, boy.
Oh, Jeeves. I love you,
Welcome
Jeeves.
back, Jeeves.
Welcome back, Jeeves.
The absence makes the heart grow fonder. Really.
It really does.
To the silent D.
Yes. Well, good to see you back. And to answer your question, live streaming, I think the opportunity might propose itself better with me being in Kevin's proximity.
Now that you're moving here, it's gonna be a lot easier.
We might be able to at least live stream
Sync
the two
up
of us.
TVs instead of 3.
Yeah. and we'll share our screen with you.
Right.
It'll be better. Yeah.
It might be. Yeah. The biggest thing is the gap in time. We don't want to ruin a game for either one of our fellow podcasters here. So sometimes one of us is like 5 seconds ahead, and we either start cheering or we're crying because something happened, and we're just like, wait,
Kevin
what?
always blows it. Yeah.
And I don't talk much during games. I'm usually like this. And then there's an outburst. So it'd be pretty it'd be pretty
It's
intense.
pretty obvious. Yeah.
It's obvious.
So I'd have to work on that, but we'll do some live stuff. I think we're gonna do more like when we go to games, we'll like live out of the stadium. We'll go live on something. I don't know. It's not in our super plans right now, but life will find a way.
Hey, if you want it, Jeeves, we'll give it to you.
If you want it that bad, Jeeves.
100%.
100%. Absolutely, awesome. Jeeves. Absolutely. You are going to get it.
Oh, we'll give it to you. So hard.
Drink up.
Drink up.
As D won't be silent when we're done.
No, it won't be.
Oh, God.
If you guys want to live stream, I mean, obviously, if Jeeves wants it, he's going to get it. But if anybody else wants a live stream, let us know, because we don't have a finger on the pulse of the live stream community as far as anybody wanting to see us.
We're in our mid to late 30s. We barely know how to make this shit work. So, just let us know what you think.
If you really want it, we'll figure it out. We'll watch some YouTube videos and figure it out. But,
yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, Jeeves, thank you for asking the question. And thank you, everybody, for asking the question. You guys make this episodes what they are. And we're one preseason game in. We got 2 more to go, and then it's the freaking game opener, man. Can't wait.
Go.
I'm so scared. I'm so excited. So scared.
I can't wait to see you guys. I'm just like, we're going to fly
so
in.
Good.
We got our Airbnb set up right next to the stadium. We're going to do that. We're going to get over to Thunder Alley early. We're going to go spend money at the pro shop. We're going to hang out. We're going to meet everybody. We got so many things to do. There's so many activities.
So many activities lined up. But that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
Don't forget to submit your request for the fantasy football league.
It's gonna
if you want to get in.
It's pretty crazy.
Don't assume you won't get in. Go give it a shot. Toss in your entry. You never know what kind of mood Kev, me, or Adam will be in when we're picking these names.
Yeah. Right. And take your time with it. I mean, we've got a week. You got a week. You can just take a few hours to really come up with a good, solid plan that's going to blow our hair back.
Hey, if you want to submit a video with some
get
effects,
creative,
get crazy,
with it,
baby. Make it hard not to pick you, baby.
Come on, baby.
Baby.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up, because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you, boy.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Gas can be a problem for everyone. Sometimes changing your diet isn't enough, and over-the-counter medications can be expensive. Now there's a solution guaranteed to help you from dropping air biscuits in public. Holding my ass. Don't want to cut the cheese at the family get-together? Holding my ass. Got a big presentation and don't want to let out a double-barreled ass blaster? Holding my ass. Holding My Ass teaches you how to hold your ass gas through proper exercises and muscle control, and not rip one in awkward situations. So if you've got a eulogy to give and you don't want to worry about crop dusting on your way to the podium, then get Holding My Ass today and thank me tomorrow.